Chapter 1. Feelings are temporary. Purpose is eternal. The moment before quitting it is late. The house is finally quiet, but your body is still loud. A tired parent sits at the kitchen table staring at unpaid bills, school letters, and a phone that keeps lighting up with messages they do not have the energy to answer. They told themselves they would use this time to plan, to think, to prepare for the next step. But exhaustion has wrapped itself around their shoulders like a heavy cloth. A struggling entrepreneur closes their laptop for the third time that night. The numbers did not move today. The ideas did not land. The effort did not pay off. Again. Their mind whispers questions they did not invite. Is this even worth it? Am I foolish for trying? Should I stop pretending this will work? A discouraged student lies on their bed, books open but untouched. They were once full of ambition. Now they feel behind. Behind expectations. Behind their peers. Behind the version of themselves they promised their family they would become. Different lives, same moment. That quiet space where feelings grow loud and plans begin to feel heavy. In that moment, no one is lazy. No one lacks ability, no one lacks vision. They are simply listening to how they feel, and feelings when given the microphone are very convincing. So here's the question that sits at the center of this chapter. How many important decisions in your life have been made based on how you felt in one difficult moment? Core teaching. The principle. Feelings are real, but they are not reliable leaders. They respond to fatigue, fear, hunger, rejection, pressure, memory. They rise and fall like weather. Purpose, on the other hand, is quieter. It does not shout. It does not rush you. It does not change its mind every morning. Purpose waits. This is where many people misunderstand discipline. They believe discipline means ignoring feelings, suppressing emotions, or becoming hard. That misunderstanding has caused damage, especially within the African diaspora, where strength has often been demanded without rest. This book does not ask you to deny your feelings. It asks you to stop placing them in positions of authority. Feelings are excellent messengers. They are terrible decision makers. This is why plans feel boring. Plans do not respond emotionally. Plans repeat. Plans require showing up when nothing feels exciting. Plans ask for consistency when applause is absent. And yet, plans work. Not because they are magical, but because they remove decision-making from unstable emotional moments. Discipline, in this context, is not punishment. It is protection. It protects your future from your temporary discomfort. African proverbs and cultural wisdom. Across African cultures, there is deep understanding that emotion alone cannot guide life. The one who follows their feelings will sleep hungry. This proverb is not cruel, it is practical. It reminds us that survival required action even when the body wanted rest, even when the heart felt discouraged. A child who is carried everywhere will never learn the road. Protection was paired with responsibility. Comfort was never allowed to replace growth. When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. Feelings are the wind. Purpose is the root. These sayings were not motivational quotes, they were survival tools. They taught people how to keep moving when circumstances were uncertain, hostile, or unfair. They did not dismiss emotion. They simply refused to let emotion decide direction. Real-life African diaspora story. Quiet consistency. There is a woman who migrated with little more than a certificate, a suitcase, and responsibility. Every job she took felt beneath her dreams. Every shift stretched her patience. She cried in private and worked in public. There were moments she wanted to stop. Not because she lacked ambition, but because she was tired of feeling unseen. Her business did not grow quickly. Her qualifications were questioned. Her accent was misunderstood. She failed more times than she shares. But she did one thing consistently. She followed a plan on days she felt hopeless. Not perfectly, not joyfully, but faithfully. Years later, her success did not look dramatic. It looked stable. Her children were educated, her bills were paid, her name was respected. No viral moment, no overnight breakthrough, just quiet victory. Healing the inner conflict. Here is where we pause, because disciplined conversations often ignore the difference between laziness and exhaustion. Exhaustion needs rest. Laziness avoids responsibility. Burnout is not failure, it is information. Many people in the African diaspora were taught to keep going without being taught how to recover. So, when the body finally protests, guilt follows. This chapter invites honesty. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not disloyal for wanting ease. You are not ungrateful for needing rest. But you must be careful not to let healing become hiding. Rest is meant to restore you to the plan, not remove you from it. Discipline divorced from compassion becomes trauma. Compassion divorced from discipline becomes stagnation. You need both. Cultural reflection. Then versus now. Traditionally, discipline was communal. You were not left alone with your feelings. Work was shared. Correction was public. Encouragement was constant. Displacement changed this. Many people now carry expectations without community, pressure without guidance, and responsibility without support. What can be reclaimed is not the harshness, but the structure. Accountability, rhythm, shared responsibility, purpose bigger than self. Discipline was never meant to be lonely. Reflection. Questions pause here. Do not rush. What feelings most often interrupt my consistency? Where did I learn discipline and where did I learn fear? Am I resting to recover or resting to avoid? What plan have I abandoned because I didn't feel ready? Who benefits when I stay consistent? Sit with your answers. Action steps. Discipline in motion. Daily, choose one small action you will complete regardless of mood. Weekly, review your plan once a week, without judgment, only honesty. Cultural ritual. Begin your day with a grounding phrase or proverb that reminds you of direction, not emotion. Community accountability. Tell one trusted person what you are committing to this week. Closing feelings will change. Purpose remains. You do not need to feel strong to move forward. You need to remember why you started. This chapter is not asking you to be unfeeling. It is asking you to be intentional. Honor the plan, even today.